I'll just give you some idea that what type of audience is going to join us today, so you are also aware of it.
Sure.
So it's early, so many people are still joining, and then I'm hopeful people will join on the go also. But then majority of them would be from the company which I represent, Indianic
Okay.
Infotech Limited.
Okay.
As I have informed and discussed with you, we are providing digital solutions and developing web solutions and mobile
Mm-hmm.
apps for our clients. And I also have in this group few alumni of the ILDC training program that we have.
Okay.
Those students have been part of Indianic sometimes back, and then now they are into different activities. There
I
are
see.
few teachers and professors also who are now part of this program today. They are from
Oh.
different various engineering colleges.
Oh, wow.
Now
Yeah.
the idea of
I'll
inviting them and making them part of this program is that the inputs that you can share would definitely enlighten them and help them also, that okay, they can share your thoughts, your ideas, some points picked up from this webinar, and while sharing and interacting with the future students or the future engineers, they can definitely add some more value, a different perspective. And definitely uh, there are few more businessmen also who have joined this, businessmen from some industrial association, like you might be aware, इंडिया के अंदर हर एरिया में जीआईडीसी बहुत है.
हाँ, हाँ, GIDC, राइट, राइट।
तो
या
कुछ दो चार लोग ऐसे भी हैं जो
हुँ,
लोग अपना एक इंडस्ट्री हब चलाता हाउस चलाते हैं, जो इट कैन बी ऑफ
ओके,
डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री. आई एम नॉट वेरी अवेयर ऑफ दैट. They might be from plastic industry or they might be from engineering workshop. And this mixed audience is invited with one agenda, with one point, is that the way the we say, everyone is telling that okay, market is changing, times are changing, the way of business, doing the business is changing. But exactly how it
yep,
is changing, how it's going to impact us, what is
correct,
that
yeah,
from a developer point of view, how he should look at all these changes, for a businessman, how he should look at all these changes, a professor or a teacher, a student, how he should look at all these changes. This is the idea and the agenda with which we would like to know your thoughts. And
sure,
I'm very much sure, you being at US and at the hub of all those technological developments, and also involved with many uh, corporates and many big companies, and on the consultation side.
yep,
So your inputs and your thoughts would definitely help us to have a different perspective. So with
yeah,
that
absolutely,
idea, we have thought about this. This is the first program. If you are available to share your thought, we can also arrange for some future programs also.
oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely, yep, yeah, I'm all for, like, sharing and then learning from the audience as well. It's a kind of, I see it's a two-way process, right? So, I'm more than happy to share whatever I have learned so far. So I think we are already at the time. Uh, so
Yeah,
if
we can definitely start. So just formally introducing you to the audience. Hello, everyone, and first of all, welcome to all the audience who has been part of this webinar. It's early morning, I can understand, but considering the time zone differences, as our presenter and the speaker today, he is from US, so we have organized this program considering the convenience of both participants as well as the presenters. And I'm very sure that this program would be very much interactive, very much informative, as well as giving us a different perspective about the whole changes which are happening around the market. And once again, welcome to all the participants. Thank you for attending this program and making it a meaningful program. This is a program organized by Indianic Infotech Limited and ILDC, a training venture of Indianic. And the idea of organizing this type of programs are that everyone, not only the IT people, but everyone in the society should be aware of what is happening around and how we should align ourselves or align our business, align our thoughts, align the way we do the interactions with the world and the new way of doing the business. So, with that mindset, I would like to invite Satish, Mr. Satish Nagpal. I know him since many years and we have worked together. And Mr. Satish Nagpal, he is a senior consultant working with many different companies in US and having a vast experience with reference to digital transformations. And today he is going to share his thoughts about such digital transformation and also give some highlight about Industry 4.0. So, Satish, welcome to you and over to you. You can take up from here. The session is planned for 1 hour, and accordingly, you can plan your schedule.
Sure. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank all the participants for taking the time and joining, and that this wouldn't have been possible without initiative from Nitin Padharia. And I know Nitin sir since 2008. That was my first job at Rishabh Software in Baroda, and where he was a kind of lead programmer, lead program trainer who was leading the training program. And he's very, I can see, he's still in last 12 years he hasn't lost his passion. So that's explains everything about. So uh, I kind of coming from a very technical background and also working with the various companies, what I realize is the landscape of the IT and the overall organization is changing, right? And this new companies have kind of try to they try to come with the new business models with the new emerging technology. So everything can be summarized in that what is going on, right? So that's what some companies have come agreed on, that yes, we're gonna call it as a digital transformation, right? So we're gonna look at it that how our life, our companies, and our experience, how the way we should do the shopping, everything is going to change. Okay, so feel free to ask me any question during the presentation, and even you can hold on to at the last, right? But I really encourage you guys to ask any question as much as possible, right? So that this will be more like a discussion than just a me kind of sharing my ideas. So before we go further, let's look at it why companies fail, right? I'm pretty much sure that you guys have heard at least one of these companies. Nokia at one point of time, I know in 2008 they owned a 90% market share. So pretty much uh, today as we say, the instead of we say go ahead and search it, we say okay, go ahead and Google it, right? So Google has become synonyms of the search. The same way in 2000 before 2008 and iPhone came, the mobile means it was a Nokia by default. Anyone who says go ahead and buy the mobile, they say buy the Nokia, right? Because there was only one brand which was very popular, and they failed miserably. Now you see that even if you go to the market and then if you try to buy it, instead of market you have to go to the museum to buy the Nokia phone. That's how the situation is. Same when happened with Yahoo, BlackBerry, Orkut, Kodak. All these companies has miserably failed. I mean, completely they lost the market share, and there's even not a point that they can revive back. It's completely gone. So I think this brings up some very interesting questions, that these big such a company with so much kind of resources, manpower, market share, if they can fail right miserably, then what about us individually, and what in our career? Or I see that some folks have joined from companies. So if these companies can fail, then we can also fail, right? So it's important that we take the learning from these companies and we study them, that what went wrong, right? How they were not able to transform themselves, and transform themselves, and that cater and supply the need of the customer, need of the market, need of the our. And that is the fundamental reason these companies have changed. So what we're gonna do is that I have put together a lot of studies, and then kind of some of the key areas I've identified, that how potentially in your career you can avoid these kind of failure, or avoid these kind of organizations of failure. What you can do to prevent these things happening to you. Okay. All right. So before we go into the presentation, here's my introduction. So I've been living in US since last 12 years. Worked for various companies. I worked for almost 15 to 16 companies. Most of them are large organization with 50, 20,000, 50, more than 50,000, 50,000 employees. And these are all the 500 Fortune companies. And I'm fortunate enough to work with the various organization and learn from them. I enjoy, kind of living. I live in a very mountains area with my wife, and I'm very passionate about, uh, kind of leading the technology-driven business solution. So I see everything, look at it from like from my technical background, and then see what kind of business problem I can solve. Because ultimately, one thing is matter is Gandhi Babu. That's it, right? Everybody. It doesn't matter whether somebody's running a small tea shop or running the big company. Rokada. That's what is matter at the end of the day, right? So we need to yes, it is important to be having a good technical skill, good presentation skill, good training skill. But if all your skill cannot generate revenue for the company or for you, then unfortunately it's of no use, right? Because nobody is willing to pay for it. So that's why it's very important that you are have absolute clarity around in your mind. Whatever you do in your career, or with your company, or if you are in a college, or if you are a student, you need to think about how can I take this skill to the next level, which can bring some sort of revenue or some profit for me. Because that's what the reality is. Okay. So what we're going to cover today is that we have gone through the four some sort of industrial revolution. So we're gonna look at it from the 1700, how from 1700 to 2000 to 2021, industry has changed altogether, right? What kind of big revolution we have gone through. Then what is it all about, digital transformation. Then I'm gonna walk you through, if you decided in whatever the position you are, if you are a developer, or if you're a programmer, if you're a trainer, if you're a professor, if you own the company, then what are the some of the core areas you can focus on to transform your business, to transform your career, right? And then I'm gonna share some of the case study with you guys, and then what are the some of the domains are of digital transformation, and how you can go beyond the developer mindset, right? It's so much easy nowadays. People can, there are so many courses online. Anybody can learn a code, so that's not a big deal. So how you can transform your skills and take it to the next level, where you are very much relevant, and whatever that happened with the Yahoo, BlackBerry, or Nokia, Kodak, doesn't happen to you. Okay. So now let's look at these four very giant companies. Okay. Uber, Alibaba, Facebook, and Airbnb. Now, what is so interesting about them, these companies? So Uber, it's a world largest ride-sharing company, doesn't own any taxi, doesn't own any car, right? But they are the biggest in terms of market share in ride-sharing. Same, I believe, in India. You guys have Ola. Uh, uh, then Alibaba, it's the biggest, kind of market e-commerce platform, which owns no inventory, pretty much. If you understand how the Alibaba works is, so for instance, if I'm a supplier, I'm selling some, let's say the pencil, I just go and then I put, it's a kind of platform where I say I have 100 pencil, then some supplier or the buyer will come to the platform, say, okay, I want 100 pencil. They will place the order and I will ship it. So what Alibaba Group does is, they are just a platform which provides some sort of where kind of buyer and the seller come together, and then do the transition. It's some establish the trust, plus they have a technology as well. Facebook, the largest producer of the content, doesn't own or any doesn't produce any content, right? When you go to the Facebook, you see all the videos, all the articles, all the pictures. None of them is been produced by Facebook, right? It's all collaborative approach. It's produced by the people, but they are $1 trillion company. Airbnb, largest accommodation chain, right? Company in the world owns zero property, right? So if you I mean if you are from Baroda, Gujarat, Ahmedabad, wherever you are, if you have extra room, you can just download the Airbnb application and rent it for a week, month, or day. If you have some exotic location, on the mountains or the riverside near the Kapadganj or anywhere, you can just install the Airbnb application and just rent it out. So you see that the these companies has completely changed the game of the market, right? Now it doesn't it is not like earlier days where you have to produce some sort of a product or provide the service. If you can facilitate, if you can build a platform, right, then you can become a very large company, right? So now let's review the whole kind of history of the technology and the and the industrial evolution. So it's all started with the 1760, where first the construction of the railway that kind of boost our productivity, taking the one step from another step, cumbersome engine. There was a very first revolution. That's where everything started. From building the railway engine and the steam and the infrastructure. The second revolution come at the time of electrification, where we have emphasis on a lot of productivity, improving the productivity, producing the stuff in a mass market, right? That's how you see all the electronics, all the goods and products are being mass marketed. That there was a between 1841 and 1960. After 1960 and between 1990, there was a whole revolution of this digitization or the internet, where you see all the big platform like Gmail, Yahoo, BlackBerry, all these big internet companies are Hotmail at the time. They kind of boom. There was a whole boom about all these internet-based companies, Yahoo Messengers and all. But after 90s, right after this introduction of the cloud-based services and big data. At that time, there was the database revolution, new programming languages. The whole game has been completely changed. Now it's no longer about just a small kind of a change. It's all about the big shift in the market. And that's what you see. The four companies which I just described: Airbnb, Uber, then Alibaba, and then Facebook. Those companies wouldn't have been possible without fourth industrial revolution. So you see, these companies are leveraging a very all the technology available to them, right? Big data. How much? Just think about it. How much amount of data Facebook has, right? Do you think it's possible without having the public cloud? Without public cloud or machine learning, they can produce. You just open the Facebook application and you keep scrolling. You will never run out of the data. Same with the Uber. Wherever you are in the globally, I believe they are operating in 130 countries. You just open the mobile application, they will be able to recognize on what state, what city, what street, at what location you are, and get you the right there, right? So just think about it, the amount of processing power it requires, right? And they also have a dependency on mobile device, right? Without mobile, none of these company would have been possible. So you see, the nature of the business is changing, right? It's going from product or services to more on a platform, right? If you can provide any kind of services, if you're a platform where cater various audience, or build some sort of trust where the buyer and the seller can come, you are golden. Same thing happening with the PayPal. Same thing happened with the eBay. You see what they are. They are pretty much a platform, right? They don't sell any product. They don't sell any services. But that these are the platform which you can trust on. All right. Now, before I go into the digital transformation, does anyone has any questions? Any questions so far? And please, feel free to ask question in any language: Hindi, English, Gujarati. I don't want language to be barrier of a learning. So कोई ना कोई question है? No question. Okay. All right. Okay. Somebody has sent me the chat. Let me see. No. Okay. All right. Then we can move on. So now let's talk about what is the digital transformation. So digital transformation is nothing but all about leveraging the technology to fundamentally transform your business, right? In order to increase profit, productivity, or enhance the user experience. That's what the digital transformation is. And you can see an example. If anyone of can tell me like one of what is the most used application, right? What application which you guys use on mobile device besides WhatsApp and Flipkart? Can anyone just name any application which you think that it's been used by a lot of Indian folks? Okay. uh,
So it is all depends on again the domain, right?
Correct.
From like if I talk about the business domain, then money control in
Hmm.
India, right? From social media perspective, Facebook, Instagram, and same way like from travel agencies and everything, and then you can say like make my trip and is my trip. From again red bus as well, from OTT platform like Amazon Prime, right? Also Netflix. So these were different application from a different domain is widely used.
Correct. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. So now let's look at one of those application, right? Let's look at the Amazon. So if you guys know the history of Amazon, they started as a simple bookseller. That was what, right. They had some books and they wanted to send online. And then for that online business, they when they were selling this in a book business, they discovered is that what, we have so many services which is sitting idle around during the Christmas time. Nobody buys the book. What are you gonna do with all these servers? So they come up with the idea. They say, you know what, we are going to start renting these servers to the businesses. So if anybody need to run the application, right, you just go to the Amazon.com and you can just rent a server for a certain time period. And that's how the whole AWS business was started. That there was a foundation of the Amazon Web Services. So you can see that idea has become very important, and not having just the idea, but you execute on it, right? And now you see Amazon is the world's largest mall, right? Largest provider of products and the services. And you look at it in the number of businesses they are in expanding. Not only just a goods and services, they have their own music, right? Amazon Prime, so they are in the media business. Then AWS, their technology services businesses. Then they have their Kindle products, right, where e-reader and all. In fact, in USA now they are starting to come into the pharmacy, so you can order your medicine on
Hmm.
Amazon.com. So what happened is that they if you see that your business needs to be agile and need to identify the opportunities as the market is changing, right? And that's why it's become that all the processes, all the kind of operations, they should be so much easily flexible, that as the time demand, you can just you can leverage them. Those should not become your bottleneck. Just think about it. If they have designed the application such a way that you can only just order some sort of stuff online, but you cannot order a book, right, where they would have been, right? But the way they have designed their whole technology stack is such a way that they can quickly get into in so many different businesses. You guys will be surprised, but in USA, I'm not sure about the India, but they serve. Amazon even deliver a car, so I can just go on Amazon.com. I can buy a car, I can buy a truck. Just think about it, and they will deliver to my home. I can buy a car without leaving my home. That's how the giant they have become, and it's all due to because they have this technology stack, and the operations are such a this defined such a way that they can deliver it. They can deliver it whatever they want overnight. And another reason is that the market segment is very limited, right? So there is a one fixed piece of cake, and everybody try to get the maximum piece out of it. Okay, and they each they will try to try to each other try to capture the largest market share from different various businesses as possible. So for in Amazon, when they started selling the ebook, here there is a very big retailers, Barnes and Noble. They were like a very big. I don't know, there is a India. I don't remember right now, but I'm sure there is a large retail chain who sells the books, and they completely shut down after the Amazon, right? Then the Amazon went into now they are going into the pharmacy, and then all this retail business. Because of that, because of the only Amazon, the large malls, shopping centers, chains, they are completely shut down, completely. Why? Because of the customer convenience. And then you see there, as I say, that it's all about transforming the user's experience as well. It's not only about just you are serving the products and services at a very cheap cost, right? But if you have application, then it has to work, right? When was the last time you guys remember when you try to open Facebook or Instagram and it crashes? It doesn't load, it doesn't work, right? It never happened. Because what happened is, if those platforms doesn't work, right, if they are not intuitive, they are not easy to use, nobody's going to use it. There are thousands of other alternates available out there. So while you are focusing on technology, right, you also need to make sure that your customer experience is top of your priority. Nobody will care about whether you are writing a 5 line of code or 50 line of code. Nobody is going to come and check, right? As long as it works, that's what it matters. That's a bottom line. That should be your goal. Okay, so that's it. Pretty much, it's all about the digital transformation. So now we are going to look at it. What drives a digital transformation, right? What provokes companies to transform themselves in order to survive in this cutting edge world. So I have identified uh, I have identified certain transformation, the drivers which which ask companies to transform themselves in order to survive. Okay, it's all about the survival now. Customer demand it's increased like never before. So for instance, as you can see that if we can take the Amazon example, then customer, if I can order a book, right, then I should be able to order any car part as well, right? Because customers are demanding more that, hey, if I'm using this application every day, then you better serve me, right? Same thing is happening with a Facebook. If you see, when the Facebook started, they were very for just a focus on just a posting, and then IM messages, very limited, or the group chat. But now they have launched their own video platform, so they are directly competing with the YouTube. Okay, then their Facebook has their own market share. So you can go to the facebook.com, and then they have marketplace where you can buy some used stuff, or you can sell your stuff as well. Same like OLX in India, right? So Facebook is competing with them as well, because Facebook is saying is, hey, anyways, users are spending so much time on application, right, that it's better they get the maximum benefit out of our application, right? So what they have done is they have identified that there are various user personas. There are various group of the users who visit the Facebook for a various purposes, right? And if I'm like for instance, I use Facebook mostly for news. So they provide me opportunity that I can subscribe to any of the news channels, right? News articles, and then all this kind of journals, and I get their feed. So we have to learn, when you guys are developing the application or business, you need to clearly identify that what are the various group of the users, or the group users persona you are dealing with, right? And then based on the persona, once you identify, you should cater them, right? If there somebody's coming for same with let's say the uh, ice cream parlor, right? Not everybody's come for just eating ice cream. If you see that your users are coming, and those who like to enjoy some sort of milkshake or some soda, then you better be ready, better be serving them as well, right? Otherwise, what's going to happen is that there's another shop who's already serving the soda and say, you know what, I'm going to start serving ice cream, and you are out of the business. So customer demand is constantly changing. Customers are demanding very good, kind of a good user experience, good quality products, good customer service at the very competitive price. If you are not going to deliver it, then someone else going to do it. New business model. So as you can see, this Uber, Ola, Alibaba, Amazon, their Airbnb, they have come up with a completely new business model, which was not exist before, right? And they have a huge dependency on a mobile devices. Without mobile devices, none of these new businesses would have been possible. So you also need to identify the area that what is changing in the market, right? So and now you see that these uh, these platform these companies like Uber and the Airbnb, they are more like a become a platform. Same with the Facebook as well, same with the Amazon as well. And I can give you another example. In Facebook, you can develop your, it's a mark. Facebook has their own developer platform, right? So you can develop your custom application and deploy it on a Facebook, which other users can use it. Another example I can give you, that Facebook now you can incorporate with your business as well. So what happened is, I haven't seen much happening in India. Probably, it's because mostly I'm dealing with the US business. But when you go to any of the shopping, any of the merchant website, right? For example, you go to any shoe website, company who sells a shoes, and then they what they have done is they have incorporated their Facebook Messenger with their website. So instead of going to the website and then pressing the order, I can just go to their Facebook page and I can order from there. And then they have the bots running. They are going to respond. So they are also going to respond if I have any questions. Also, they have the whole customer service department for just responding to Facebook request or Facebook questions they get from the Facebook. So you see that businesses are getting very smart, right? They are saying that a lot of people are visiting a Facebook. Same thing happening with the WhatsApp as well. I've seen many companies I've visited online in Indian companies. Then on their website you see the WhatsApp link. You click on it, it's gonna take them. It's gonna take you to the customer service, and you just start chatting with somebody that, "Yeah, I would like to order this product. What is the price? What is the warranty?" and so on. Okay, so this is how the new business models are evolving. So you also need to keep an eye on it, that in your business, in your domain area, right, what is new available out there, right? How you can incorporate or come up with the new business ideas, or you can take the advantage of the new business models which company has introduced or which companies are able to transform. Competition, it's as I said that every company is just trying to eat each other market, right? You see that mobile domain, Samsung and Apple, they are trying to eat each other market. Same with the let's say that for e-commerce, you have Flipkart, Walmart, Amazon. They're trying to each other market. Okay, same with the Facebook and YouTube. They're going with the neck to neck, trying to each other markets. So you see that competition is there. It's a very strong competition. So it is your in your best interest that you not only just to serve your customer, but also satisfy their current need and identify the unmet need, right? So for instance, when first time when the iPhone launched, right, there was no like a prior any mobile device which has such a big large screen. So what Apple was able to do is they identify the unmet demand of the customer, which customers are even may not be even aware of it, right? So for instance, if we just take the ice cream shop example, like I mean, we can say usually people go to the ice cream shop and say, I just want to buy ice cream or soda, but then you identify that, hey, you know what, I get a customer during certain period of time, a very large number of customer, and then you identify that what else I can serve them, right, along with ice cream, right? So it could be people are, there might be some people who are very health conscious, or who are on a dietary restriction, those who are vegan, right? So these kind of demand, if you can identify and then start serving them, then you have better chances of generating a lot more revenue. Nobody's going to come and ask you, ice cream parlor, that, hey, why you guys are not serving some vegan food or vegan ice cream. it is your job to identify that what is going on in the market, right? What are the people else are demanding, and based on that, you need to change your business model. You need to start catering the various customers and then their needs. The another thing is innovation. So I think I cannot emphasize enough that innovation should be the main driver in your either in your career level or your organization level, because people are always looking for a new ideas, right? So you always need to come up with a new innovative things which kind of entertain the customers. You see the so much innovation is happening in any of the mobile applications, right? All these mobile application, like you have seen probably that after if you send the message, after some point of time it automatically disappear. Now you see in WhatsApp or Instagram, the innovator of this idea were Snapchat. Snapchat were the one who come up with this idea that where you send some picture or the messages, and after some time it's going to disappear, right? And that's why you see there in Snapchat there's such a large market share. And then Facebook and Instagram, they face a lot of competition from them, and they have to respond. So when the new challenger come into the market, you should be able to recognize it that hey, these are the potential threat to your business, and you should kind of change your mode of operandi and operations, and then so, respond to the customer need. Otherwise, it's just a point of time that you will become completely out of the business. Value. Everybody, I believe that I mean I there's no person on this planet who doesn't demand good value for his or her money. So you also need to understand that how we can get the maximum value to our customer, right? You see the Amazon with they have a prime I don't know about the uh, how much a subscription cost in India, but in USA it's $130 for a year. So pretty much you pay 11 to yeah, 11 to $12 per month just to use the 2 day shipping, right? But in the 2 day shipping, you see the amount of value customers are getting it. If I orders many time it happened that if I order something in morning and I get the parcel delivered at the evening. So I'm going to look at it that what kind of value I can get from the Amazon by just paying $130 a year. So if I'm a premium member, right, how Amazon is making sure that I'm getting the maximum value. Besides 2 days delivery, I get the free some sort of a free music, Amazon Music. Then I have a free Amazon Prime, right, which is another way giving a very big competition to Netflix. All the Prime videos and series that is I get for free. Plus, on top of that, I also get a free every month. They give me some credit to read the Kindle books online. So you see that in the $130, how much value they are giving me. Plus, on top of that, I pretty much I can return it any stuff any time I want, no questions asked, no questions asked. So that is a very important that they are keep making sure that they are keep increasing the value of my subscription, right? If they don't, then they have some competition will come up and will be able to better will be able to provide me a lot more value in $130 than what Amazon is providing me. So there is another important point of view that I see there's a large audience of a developer, right? So when you are interacting with a client, you need to think about their perspective. That yes, they have asked me to develop this application, but if I am the owner of this application, right? How can I add some more value, right? So you need to it's always better that you analyze, you identify some of the key areas, right? Or it doesn't have to be like a very big change or very big kind of value addition. Even the small value addition, client always likes it, right? I mean, who doesn't like it if you go to the restaurant and they say, you know what, we are going to serve the free soda. Who doesn't like it, right? Everybody does. Forget about the soda. Even they just give you the some chips or something. Anything which you free, everybody's gonna like it. Remember that always. So it's the same. Our psychology applies to corporate client as well. When you are dealing with with your clients or even internally with the company, you need to ask yourself, how can I bring more value to the table? Because that is a decision criteria for any organization when they try to evaluate the employees or people in the organization who are building, who are kind of contributing the most. It's all about the value. Same with the client. Always try to analyze and share your ideas. And we can very politely say that, what, I've done my research, and then I think you asked me for a thing, but how about if you do A and B, then you have a better chances of getting the whatever the desired result, or that might improve your user experience, or that your customer, they may like it. So if you are very open and proactive, it's very important that you're proactive. And remember, you guys have nothing to lose. Nobody is going to punish you just for sharing the ideas. But at least in that process, you are going to learn a lot. Okay. Network effect. So because of the network effect, some company has a monopoly and nobody can beat them, right? For instance, Samsung, Apple, even the Microsoft tried, even though tomorrow Microsoft come up and say, you know what, we are going to provide a free mobile device to every person in this world. Still nobody is going to use it. Why? Because now it's not only about the mobile device. If you have a mobile device but you don't have any application, who's going to use it? Think about it. Nobody, right? So that's why Apple and Samsung, they have dominated. They have like millions and millions of application which user can use it, right? If, for instance, another example I can give, let's say there is some new web uh, chat application, right? Let's call it ABC, and it's a free application. It does everything whatever the WhatsApp does it, right? But nobody uses that application. You don't have your family, friends are using the application. Then who's gonna use it? Even though, let's say, they are paying you money every month to use it, who's gonna use it? Nobody. So that's why it's very important that you have the network effect. Same thing is happening with the with kind of all the big platforms, because of their platform business model, they are able to develop this network effect. Facebook is just another great example. If tomorrow there is a completely new social media platform, right? You see that there might be some traction. There might be some use the small number of users, they are able to attract it, but they can never grow big as a Facebook. Why? Because Facebook has such a large network. All the companies, all the media houses, all the big banks, pretty much, Facebook has the largest user base in the world. They have more people on the platform than entire European nation combined. All the countries, there are like 15, 16 countries in Europe. If you combine them, still user has the highest, far more user than these countries. So you can see that network effect is also plays very important role. Then the platform versus product. As I said, that market has shift now. You need to you need to identify that when you have to make a product, and also once you make the product, how to convert into the platform. So for instance, Apple Watch, right? It's a product, but now it's not only just a product, it's a platform as well. So you can develop new application, right? Which it could be a keyboard, it could be any application which you think is best served to all the people, those who are using the smartphone. And then you can deploy that application to the Apple Play Store, Apple there, can kind of app store. And that's how you see that Apple is in both business. They are also in a business of selling the product, and then they are also in a business of selling the services. And they provide you platform, which you develop this application, you deploy, and then you make money out of it. Same thing is happening with the Tesla. So Tesla is also developing their own platform along with their car, where you can develop the various application specifically targeted for just a Tesla car. In fact, there was some user, uh, they have complained to Elon Musk, who is a founder of Tesla car, that I'm having a hard time to keep my dog. Here people have a lot of dogs as the pet. So what if, if I have to keep my dog in my car, but if I turn off the car, then they might get exhausted and they might die. So Elon Musk on just a Twitter, some user complained to Elon Musk, and what the Elon Musk did is he made sure that they also have this version releases every quarter. He made sure that they introduce the new mode for just a dog mode. So you enable, and they have the, it's a pretty much, Tesla is not a car, just a data center on the wheels. So they updated the software, and they introduced this specific mode called dog mode. If you enable the dog mode, then the car will a car will know that there is a pet inside the car, right? And then it will make sure that it maintains certain temperature and oxygen level inside the car, even if you lock the car. So you see that, as if if the customer demands, then you have to respond, right? You cannot. There is absolutely no way you can easily get away with it. Any any questions so far?
Hey Satish, Dhaval here.
Yeah, Dhaval.
I understand the concept and the point which you are explaining. Like we have some thoughts and we have some ideas to just do some innovatives, right? But the challenge is like we, as you mentioned, like we need all kind of the platform. We need uh, digital transformations. Like we need maybe websites or applications which will be having good network. So the challenge is like that: how we can just convert our thoughts into the actual implementations area, right? So like it needs some kind of the investment, it needs some kind of the supports with all this infrastructures and everything. So the point is like that, how can we transform our thoughts into the actual implementations or represent to the world?
Correct. And there's an excellent point, Dhaval. Just hold on to your question, right? I do have a, I do have laid down the whole strategic points that how you can take these drivers and really come implement it, right? How you can transform your business, and I have shared some of the strategies. So I have a slide, dedicated slide, which will answer your question. But thank you for asking the question. Anybody else? Uh, you can feel free to ask me question in Gujarati. I'm very good in Gujarati as well.
Hi Satish, Kamlesh here. So,
Yes, come.
Satish, I'm from a sales department at the Indiani. Okay.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to know like how we can relate all these points and how, so again, we are into the service, right? And we like I'm being from a sales department, I'm a front face of the Indianic, right? So how we can relate this with, as a in a service industry?
Excellent point. So let me give you an example. So for instance, let's say if I come up and say, you know what, I am a university and I would like you guys to develop the one, kind of recruitment application or
Mm,
student application for me. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
then what you do is you, even though you are just trying to develop this application for just a one university, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you have to think from product point of view, that how can I take any request, customer request? Because one thing is for sure, there's not only one university in the world, right?
Right.
You look at it from the reusability point of view and the platform and the product point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Any customer comes up and then say, if you have any requirement, then you change your mindset and say, you know what, if I have to sell this product to some other university, how can I develop this application so in a very minimum, with a very minimum changes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can sell it to some other university, right?
Okay.
Then so that's a one approach you can take. Another
Okay.
approach which you can take is that you can talk to your university and then say, university, you can tell them that, hey, you know what, I understand you come to us and you have a certain need for, you just want some sort of kind of a student management fee system, or just you just want to maintain the courses and then information about the student, right? But at the same time, you can be proactive and then say, you know what, that's where your homework is become very important. That
Right.
any client come up and then you say, I understand you are university, but here's a legal requirement you have to satisfy, and you need a solution for it, and we can provide you the solution. Here is another challenge you might face. For instance, like a payroll, right? providing the fees to all the professors and everybody. So you can say, you know what, I understand that you come to us with just a specific need, but what about this? We can also solve this problem. We can also solve this, kind of uh, a solution to you. So you that it has become very important that any client come to you, you understand their business, their industry far better than they. Because once you understand their business, right, and
Right.
the industries they are operating, then you are better equipped with the, kind of, as I said earlier, that you can identify the unmet demand,
Right.
right? And then you can say, you know what, you can goes into the various aspects of it. What about, we help you to minimize your cost, operation cost, right? What about if we help you that to roll out any kind of product services to all the students, right? For
Mm-hmm.
instance, there is a productivity Office 365 suite is there, Google Suite is there, right?
Right.
Then you identify that, I understand you might be having challenges. Let's say a university has 100 professors,
Mm-hmm.
you might be having a challenges to communicate in a better environment, right? Communicate fast, easily share the information, and say, you know what, we can Slack is a pretty great collaboration platform, and we can help you to implement. But excuse me, before you do that, you gotta do your homework, right? And that's where it become very important. And the another thing is, see, I do a lot of research, right? And I have identified one thing is sure that pretty much all the companies, if you understand the one company and the one industry thoroughly, then pretty
Mm-hmm.
much, all these companies are same. Every company needs finance, every company needs HR, every company needs training department, right?
Right.
Every company
Right.
needs it. There might be like a 10-15%,
Up and down.
kind
Yeah.
of other requirements up and here and there, but pretty much everything's same.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you have developed this solution, this, kind of let's say for a university recruitment solution, then you see that, okay, is there any way I can convert this entire application into just a small into mobile application and upload it to marketplace, upload it to the Google platform or, Apple platform, and let the
Mm-hmm.
other university, other people discover it. Maybe, you have some come up with a new business model, pay as you go, like number of users as
Yeah.
you go, or maybe you give them a first year for free and then you start charging it. But anything which you do, you need to ask the question, how can I get the maximum benefit out of this solution? Who are the various audience I can cater them?
Right.
I hope that, I answer your question, but that's a great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Nitin sir. Hope I cannot hear you. You are on mute.
Yeah, yeah. Now is audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, there are many developers who are attending this meeting today, and I know that question has cropped up in their mind, and on behalf of them, probably I may be representing and asking a question. Okay, this is all related to business. This is all related to the stuff like अरे ये तो सब MBA वाले को और सेल्स वाले को सोचना है मैं तो छोटा सा PHP एंड्रॉयड डेवलपर हूँ मेरा क्या रोल है इसके अंदर. So how do you answer that query which is cropping up in a developer's mind? I am a Java developer. I am a PHP developer. Sort of. You got the point.
Yes. So, see, from the developer point of view, as I believe I have couple of touch upon a couple of points that when you talk to the customer, right, do your homework, understand from where they are coming from. Try to put your, kind of feet into their shoe, and then realize what are the pain points are, right? If you are running some sort of, kind of a company, let's imagine that you are owner of that company, and then, just represent yourself and then try to understand, try to get into the mindset that what other problem they might be facing, which they are not aware of it, right? Or they are maybe they are not sharing with us, and then you proactively share with them. You proactively tell them that, hey, you know what, I think it's better that this user form which we have developed, right? It's better that if you want your customer to connect very quickly to your customer support, then how about incorporating how about, kind of some sort of incorporating Facebook Messenger or maybe WhatsApp, just for customer services. So proactively ask them,
Can
hey,
I
is
do
this?
that?
Yeah, yeah, and
That is
and
not in. That's not mentioned in the scope of work.
correct. So you need to think about in that point of view as well,
Direction.
right?
I understand what you want to say. We
Yeah.
are reaching. I understand it would be late for you. You can extend for 10-15 minutes and definitely can wind up accordingly as per your plan.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Okay, you can
So,
take that liberty of extending it to 15 more minutes.
okay, yeah, thank you. I still have a lot of stuff to cover.
I know we will have session 2 also very soon. But then,
Yeah,
in conclusion of the points that you have nicely described and have highlighted, I think everyone is involved into this, and you can take to a logical end today, and then again we can have a fresh look at it from the second session.
sure, absolutely. So there's another, kind of some of these company I've already touched upon, but let me give you the example of the Disney, right? Disney, uh, they have very large theme park and a lot of customers visit them, right? Thousands and thousands of people visit pretty much here on daily basis. So they had a challenges to identify where the user go. There's a big, kind of 4 or 5 kilometer long this theme park where the how the customers comes, where they go. They have hotels inside the theme park, and they really wanted to enhance the overall user experience of the customers. And for that, what they did is they come up with a simple band, right? It's a RFID band, and you can just order it before you visit the theme park. It's a very low cost a band delivered to your home, to your home. And then when you go to the theme park, then you don't have to, kind of to purchase the ticket manually. Everything is become just with a touch, right? So you have your band, you can just go inside the theme park by just tapping it. You can order the food in restaurant. You can pay with it. You can open your hotel rooms door with the same band. So you can see that now by just technology already existed, right? But what they did is using the technology, they come up with a new innovative solution and enhance the overall user experience. Users will be like, oh wow, this is excellent. Okay, so that's why it's very important that you understand the technology stack and understand your users' pain point, and then you see how you can address some of the challenges. And then because of these, you see these companies, right? They are able to reach the $1 trillion market share. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, uh, and then $1 trillion. It you might have heard a lot of time, right? But let's put the things into the perspective. Okay, how much is a $1 trillion, right? If you take the $100 bill and if you start stacking them, right, how far the $1 trillion can go. So this is, kind of a example for you guys to understand how much is a $1 trillion. So if you take the $100 bill and if you start staking, then it will, the $1 trillion will go up to the one $1 $1 million, which is 10 lakhs dollar, to up to the just the height of the chair. Then you go to the trillion, $1 billion. 1 billion will go all the way to Burj Khalifa, right? And then you take the $1 trillion, you start stacking the $100 bill, it will go like close to 1,015 kilometers above the earth. That's what, the market value is. And then $1 equal to probably like 72, 75, 73 rupees. That much money of the market share, these companies are able to capture it. So you can imagine that, the size of these companies. Still have, kind of a lot to cover. Sorry, I mean, we are running out of the time. So probably what we can do is we can schedule another session where I go into deep into the, some of the domain of some sort of, kind of a digital transformation. And I can really give you some more example, especially somebody asked me that how they can validate all the ideas they have. So just to quickly answer that question, then what you can do is you can do something called MVP. It's called the minimum viable product, right? So instead of developing the whole solution, first you whatever the ideas you have, right? You take the idea and then you identify your potential customer, right? And then you go and talk to them and ask them that, hey, what if let's say if I'm a tea stall vendor, right? And I think that everybody's selling a tea here for 10 rupees. But what if I decided to sell for 10 rupees the same tea, but instead of along with the tea, I'm also serving them, some sort of cookies, right? What about this? But before I do that, before I open a tea stall, before I open, do a lot of investment, I go around and ask, I do the experiment, right? I do my research to see that, check the viability of my idea, right? There might be possible that, say somebody say, you know what, this is completely nonsense idea. I don't want to eat anybody. I don't like the cookies, or, I'm not willing to pay the 10 rupees, or maybe if you charge me some extra money, whatever the ideas you have, before you invest your time, energy, and resources, is better you test it out. And that's why it's become very important that you, instead of developing the full solution, you have this experiment approach in your organization. Amazon pretty much conduct 100 experiment on monthly basis, hundreds of experiment, right? And 90% of those experiments fail, miserably fail. Whatever the assumption they have, it's completely wrong. But all the 10 or 20% which succeed, it supersedes the value of the 80 failed experiment. And as you probably, you guys already know it, that every time somebody comes up with a new services or new feature, they just don't roll out to everybody. They have identified the early adopters, and they have just they introduce new product and feature just for a small subset of users, and then they collect the feedback. Constant, they are collect the feedbacks to understand whatever the assumptions are behind new product or feature, how accurate are those assumptions, and they validate it, and based on the feedback they receive from the client, they decided to whether we should move forward, roll out to all the customers or not. So I think I have a 30 slide, but I only covered half of it. So Nitin sir, I think probably we need another session. But I'm going to open a platform for you guys to ask any questions you guys have, anything I have covered so far. And somebody asked me in a question, hold on, I'm gonna in the chat. The question was giving a free things, but still the user will not going to use it. But I think that's how the Geo started their business. So freemium, right? Question about if we give a free product, right? Who's gonna use it? So free doesn't mean always user is gonna use it. If you start, as I said, that even if you come up with the free chat-based application, right? If you give a free, but nobody's going to use it. Why? Because it required the network in order to use it. So if you come up with a similar application like a WhatsApp, it's a free application, but if nobody's using it, whom I'm going to talk on this new application, right? So free always doesn't mean that it's 100% is going to work. It's all about the context, right? You need to see whom you are competing with. But if I take the same example, and I have developed this entire, some university application, and I identify the new university which is opening, and if I give them the, hey, you know what, why don't you try my new application and use it? And if you like it, then you can continue using it. Like you can use it for 6 months or 8 months, then you might have a chance. But if you have developed a new application for university and you go to the MS University like a big and tell them, hey, can you use the application? They will tell you, get the head of here. Why would they invest their time and money? Because you already have application which is working, right? Even though your application is free, still they need to input the data. And how they will make sure that their data is safe with this new application, right? So that's why it's not always that if you give something free then it always works. It has a lot of context around it. You got to understand the kind of problem you are trying to solve, your customer base, the legal requirement, the data privacy requirement, amount of efforts they have to put to use your services, and so on. So if you have any specific idea, I would be happy to share my thoughts. But that was a great question, Vishal. Anyone else? No questions. Come on, guys.
No, like Satish says, we can have another session. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yep. So I think still I have a couple of minutes. या कोई भी question हुआ तो please kind of feel free to ask. So let me just give you probably some high level idea what I'm going to cover it in the next session. So I have identified the domain, right? What are the domains of the digital transformation, how you can use it, and then some sort of what are the technology stacks, what are the different things in technology stack domain you can cover it, then the data, how you can leverage your data, or you can come up with a new business model which is highly rely on the data. Then you have a customers, how you identify the various customer persona, like all this kind of influencer, YouTube influencer, how you can just how you can kind of go and leverage the new channels to reach to your customers, which is kind of this influencer, and then reaching out, supporting, reaching out to the customer to your Twitter feeds and whatnot. What are the various channels is you can use to better serve your customer. Then the innovation, I think one of the questions was that how they make sure that their ideas succeed, that whatever the experiment they're trying to do is really worthwhile. So that's why it's become very important. And this innovation phase, I'm going to cover it, how you can develop the new, kind of minimum viable products, and I can give you some examples how the company has done it. Then value, how you can increase a lot more value, provide them value to your customers. Then I have a value proposition about how you can identify certain customer type, which I was discussing about. This is a detailed model around how you can identify your kind of value proposition to customers and how you can deliver them. And some of the examples of these companies, how they are able to transform it, some of the insight of these companies. And then I have another slide for like if you are coming from the technical developer background, how you can think beyond the code, beyond the developer mindset, right? And so this is for mainly focuses on for a developer, that how they can take their career to the next level, right? Then this is the new things is coming up in the market. It's called the citizen developer, and now the companies are more focusing on why don't we just empower end user and provide them a platform where they can just develop the small application without hiring a full-time developer. So how you can also leverage this potential opportunity. uh, this slide is focuses on students, which also covers is that in older days when I was a student, there was only one role developer, right? But now there are so much, the whole scope of the, because of our landscape has changed of the IT and the solutions. There's so many new roles which is in market, which you guys probably you can focus on, like product management, technical writer, customer success manager. And I'll give you some more example about how these roles are relevant to various companies. And then I was just applying to probably this would be for our third session. So uh, thank you everyone for taking the time to attend this question. I still please, I have another 10-15 minutes. I can stick around. And if you guys have any question, please feel free to ask. Don't be, like ask in Hindi, Gujarati, any language you prefer. And by the way, I'm on a LinkedIn with the S Nagpal ID, and then here's my email address. If you guys have any question, please, you can feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Sure.
Yeah, Satish, so you covered up the session very well, and thanks for that, for sharing this information. I think so. It's really wonderful learning for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
nice
Okay.
of you that you have spent your time with us, and we look forward for some more interesting sessions from you. And I will coordinate you and then try to line up some convenient time which is feasible for you. And also would like to thank all the participants who have attended this. We reached to a score of almost 85 participants at one point of time, and that's the maximum that has been recorded up till now. Since last many months we are doing this, so I would like to say that okay, people are now very much interested on these type of subjects and presentations like this. So we'll keep meeting and then interacting as per your convenience. We will have second session. And anyone, the participants, from the participants point of view, anyone has some feedback, you can talk to me personally anytime, or can ping me anytime and then give me your thoughts and ideas कि इसको ऐसा कर सकते हैं, ऐसा कर सकते हैं. And of course सतीश जब भी यहाँ पे इंडिया पे आएगा तो उसको ऐसा करेंगे, we will invite him over here for some lunch and have one interactive session also face to face.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed my session, and I look forward to connecting with you guys again. And enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. And for you
Okay.
it would be a night, so we'll say good
Yeah.
night to you.
All right. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone. Have a
Bye
good
bye.
one.
Thank you everyone.